Hello everyone! Welcome back to our lonely hardcore survival, a place where we can all be lonely together. My name is Lonely, so let's get started. In the past few episodes we've been doing a lot of building on this village, more accurately named Il Villaggio dei Coraggiosi, and although I'm extremely happy with the way that it's turning out, in this episode I would love to shift my attention to the mountain village, because there's one thing that has been bothering me for quite some time, and that's this huge trading hall, which is completely empty and not at all functional, unfortunately. So what do you say by the end of this week's episode we go ahead and fix it once and for all, so we can come here to trade and get a bunch of emeralds, all the enchantments in the game, and a lot of other things that I still have to figure out what they're gonna be. But first things first, as I always do when starting these big projects, I'm gonna need a bunch of chests, a crafting table and a stone cutter, so we can build a little storage area to make working on this project much easier. There we go, something like this should do. Now from the Italian village, I would love to grab a bunch of things, like some spruce variants, and of course some more spruce just in case, some stone with cobblestone and stone bricks, and I have some more items to gather, but my inventory is quite full, so let's just separate these items into these chests and go grab the rest. Mainly temporary blocks like dirt, some more cobblestone, some scaffolding just in case, and some glass. And before I make my way back to the mountain village, right here beside our lonely behemoth, we also gonna need some rails, and of course power rail, to make it much easier to move the villagers around. Alright, going back to the mountain village, let's drop everything that we just gathered, sleep the night, and start working on making this trading hall finally useful. And I see someone found a new job. Hey, it's my friend Roy on top of that. Well, I guess if this is what you want, my friend, you're gonna become a stonemason inside of the trading hall. But first things first, I wanna grab some spruce fences and some spruce fence gates, just because I do not want villagers to travel in and out without my permission. This is gonna make it much easier to add professions later on, without the wrong type of villager trying to grab it instead. With this done, I can grab some of this stone, make my way to the back section, and replace all of this ground. Oh, I kind of forgot about that. It's actually fit in the bottom. Anyways, I want to replace it with a combination of cobblestone, stone, and stone bricks to give it a nice backroom vibe. And I think it's also gonna look much better from this angle as well. Alright, I got rid of the floor right here, and now I really wish that we had an easier way to light up areas like these ones. But hey, because we don't, let's just do the smart thing and cover it all up instead. There we go, just like that. And now it's time to texture the floor with the cobblestone, stone, and finally the stone bricks. And of course we need some snack time to get our hunger back to full. Now I'm gonna place a fence gate right here, because for the ones who do not know, although villagers can open doors in Minecraft, they can't actually open fence gates nor trapdoors, which make them very useful. So well, with a fence gate here, let's break the door on this side and this block, and of course now we can replace the floor on this side as well, starting by getting rid of the grass, filling in this gap right here. There we go. And now we can add the cobblestone, the stone, and finally the stone bricks. And before these villagers go anywhere, let's add a fence gate right here. And now the astute among you probably realize that there's a very big thing missing from this trading hall, and that's indeed the zombie right here, which is supposed to convert these villagers once I drop them down. But to do that we're gonna need a little bit of planning. So before doing anything, we conveniently have a zombie right here, so let's see if we can make a little path for the zombie to make its way behind the villagers, where we're gonna go ahead and trap it with glass. So first things first, I wanna grab some glass, build a little barrier with temporary blocks, just to make sure that this zombie does not escape. Then although I would love to keep skulls, I'm afraid we're gonna have to get rid of him. But it was very nice to have you around, my friend. Anyways, goodbye, my friend. Now making a staircase up for my friend Xavier. Let me fill back my hunger, and we can finally, after such a long time, let him out of this boat. 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 And now let's go inside right here, where he should follow us. Perfect. I'm gonna run all the way to the opposite side, block it with glass, and of course do the same thing with this extremity right here. And just like that, our friend Xavier is stuck here forever. And now I wish this dirt block that he's holding would have been a sword. It would have made the converting much faster. But hey, it's completely fine, because the good thing about a trading hall is that we just need to use it once. And unless we want to replace all of the villagers, after they're all down to 1 emerald per trade, the zombie is just there as a flex. Especially if he's called Xavier. But now, my friends, let's patch up this hole, remove these temporary blocks, and put this wall back, because it's time to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. And this time we do not have a handy zombie in a boat, so I think somewhere around here there should be a cave, yes, with some zombies. So before we let them out, let's create a nice little path where they can follow us without worrying about the sunlight. Alright, now I just wanna block it off. I'm just gonna make a couple holes so it's not completely dark. Now this should lead from our trading hall all the way inside of the cave. Let's see if we can lure a zombie right here and not a creeper. And I also wanna eat something. Right, just to make this much easier, let me grab some torches, and by putting them inside the offhand, we can actually see what's going on. And yes, there's so many mobs inside of this cave. What's going on? Alright, wait, let me sleep the night. And now let's see if we can get just a couple zombies with no creepers and no skeleton. Well, I guess it's time to take our handy bow and deal with them ourselves. Alright, I think there's just 2 zombies left, so I wanna light up the cave a little bit. And I guess I don't mind having 2 zombies inside the trading hall. But no baby zombies, sorry my friend. Alright, let's do this. Well, here they come, my friends. So now hopefully they follow us all the way inside the trading hall. There we go. Come on, my friends, you can do this. I think they run into a little bit of a pickle. We might need to get them out before actually blocking the other side. Just push them out a little bit. Might be a good idea to eat a little something, and maybe even grab our second skin. Alright, let's try this again. There we go, much better. Now if we run to the other side, we can block it off, and now even block off the other side. And we're finally able to get the zombies inside. And now the only thing missing... Was that a creeper? No idea how he got there. Well, let's just block this off so this doesn't happen again, because I also wasn't wearing the totem. Anyways, I'm very happy that nothing bad happened. But now let's craft our anvil, grab some name tags, rename them, and of course assign them. Might need to do this from here. There we go. Now without having to be afraid of them despawning, let's clear up this whole mess. Especially this giant hole. And why is it always creepers, my friends? Well, let's try to forget about them by covering everything up and converting it back into path blocks like it was before. Of course, I want to put this wall back, and now everything is the same way it was, except now we have beautiful zombies behind every single villager. Now, before starting the conversion process, I think the best thing to do would be to fill this whole villager trading hall with villagers, and I'm missing quite a lot of spaces, so what do you say we start this long and tedious process with some of these villagers? So let's put back everything that we do not need. Now we can probably sleep the night, grab these rails, also make a minecart that we can then use to transfer some of these villagers inside of their pods. Well, my friends, this is gonna take a long time, and I don't even know if I'm gonna fill the whole villager trading hall today, but I'm gonna do my best to fill it up as much as I can, and I will see you when it's done. Welcome back, my friends. Well, this took a lot longer than I'm happy to admit, but it's finally done. If I make my way towards the trading hall, you can see that every single space is filled up and ready to be used. I left some spots here in the back, just in case I would like to add something else that I haven't thought about before. Other than that, everything else has been filled with different workstations, and it's a little bit of a mess. But hey, I think it's gonna be completely fine as long as we can get a ton of emeralds and a ton of useful resources. Now, as you can see, I didn't yet drop any of the prices, and despite having made a bunch of golden apples, I still have to zombify and cure all of these villagers. So let me make some ladders that I can put right here to go up, and once up, we have a ton of empty space, so I thought why not reduce this to make a little setup for all of our brewing. So grabbing a bunch of trapdoors and some more blocks here and there, let's try to make this attic look a little better by adding a bunch of random blocks, placed strategically of course, perfect just like that, to make this attic look a little bit more hectic. I think I'm gonna grab a couple more chests right here on the outside, just to have a little more storage space to store everything much more neatly. Perfect, the outside is completely clear, so now I just gotta organize everything else. So I might need a couple more chests, there we go, and some handy item frames as well. Starting by getting rid of all of these iron items, so we can throw them all inside of our super smelter, so they can all be turned into beautiful iron nuggets. And now making our way back to the trading hall, let's start organizing this crazy thing once and for all. And I forgot some little iron tools. Alright my friends, there we go. I organized everything that I had up here into their own little chest with a beautiful item frame to show what item is inside of it. But now, as you can see, I'm still missing some of the ingredients to make our potions of weakness. So let's go grab some, shall we? Starting with the water bottles that we can easily get from our witch farm, unless I already transferred all of them inside of our honey farm. Well, we're about to find out. There we go. Yes, we have quite a lot of water bottles right here. And while I'm at it, I'm also gonna grab a bunch of spider eyes, because they're gonna be essential to make our potions of weakness by making them fermented using some sugar. So let's grab a little bit of that as well. It's actually truly amazing how many items we get from this witch farm. And another thing that I really want is some sticks, so that we can very easily bring our fletchers to the max level. Well, I think that's everything that we do need from the witch farm, so let's make our way back. Actually, maybe there's one more thing. No, alright. I thought we were gonna have some brown mushrooms, but for that we're probably gonna have to go somewhere else. And I think we should be able to find some right here at the market. And some more golden apples, which are gonna come in very useful. Alright, here are the brown mushrooms. And now I'm actually wondering, can we bone meal them? Oh, actually I just realized that if you bone meal them, they're gonna make a giant mushroom. And for now, that's not exactly what I want, but I think 64 is gonna be plenty for what I have in mind. Oh, and as always, I forgot one little thing, which is plenty of gunpowder to make all of our potions of weakness splash potions instead. Alright, back to the attic. I'll start by putting the shulker box down, and now I can start distributing the items. Beautiful, all the shulker boxes are now empty, and everything has been correctly distributed. And before we can even do any brewing, we're going to need some blaze rods, so let's head to the nether, go towards our handy blaze farm, grab our evil slayer, and now let's get a couple blaze rods. One stack should do. Now we can make our way back towards the trading hall, so that we can convert all of these blaze rods to blaze powder, and fill each brewing stand up, so that we won't have to worry about blaze powder for a very long time. And now with some bottles, and the fermented spider eyes, let's make some potions of weakness, that then using some gunpowder, we can turn into splash potions of weakness. And they can go right here inside of this chest, with all the other potions. Well my friends, I'm gonna make a bunch, and I'll be right back. There we go my friend, this should be quite enough, so let me just make some more fermented spider eyes, and place them inside of this chest, so that whenever we need some more potions of weakness, we can easily make some. And now with these golden apples, and of course these potions of weakness, we can begin the next part of this project, which is zombifying and curing all of these villagers. So why don't we start bringing them down one by one side done, now to do the second side. Perfect, I think it's already starting. I'm very happy to know that the villagers keep their names, because that means we do not have to worry about them completely despawning once they turn into zombies. So just to make 100% sure that all of the villagers are gonna be safe, let's take some emeralds, buy some name tags, make an anvil, rename the name tag to something creative. There we go, much better. And now let's assign a name to every villager who doesn't have one yet. And yes, I'm gonna need a lot more name tags. Alright, 3 is all I can get, but now with most of these villagers having a name, we just need to throw a potion of weakness and feed them each golden apples. And I just wanna bring them all back up once they're shaking, to make sure once they get cured they don't get turned into zombies again. Alright, one side is completely done, so I'm gonna try to get all of the trades down to 1, hopefully without losing any of the villagers in the process. Well my friends, I will see you when all of the villagers have been cured and all the trades are completely affordable. Welcome back my friends! Here we are over 1 hour later for me, and I was finally able to zombify and cure the villagers many times, so that now most of their trades, probably not all of them, but most of their trades should be completely down to 1, which means that we can now trade 1 stone for 1 emerald, finally get name tags for 1 emerald as well, and as the villagers keep healing up, even more amazing deals. I'm probably gonna have to lower even more some of the trades, especially these Fletchers, but I'm very happy with the way that everything turned out, and I got reminded once more why I really hate working with villagers. But now it's done, so the next step on this project is to turn all of these villagers into masters. I've already started on a couple, but I'm missing quite a lot, so now that they are all cured, let's go grab some materials, mainly a ton of stone, with a lot of paper, and let's trade with each villager one by one to get them up to master's level. Let me just quickly make some paper and trade some of this stone as well. And I must say it's so nice to have all of these enchantments for just 1 emerald and 1 book. Wow, and I just realized that we can actually pull off that crazy book exploit, which consists in buying 1 bookshelf for 1 emerald, placing all of the bookshelves down, to break them with an axe that doesn't have silk touch on it, to get 3 books per bookshelf. And now I'm sure you guessed it, but all we have to do is go back to the vendor and sell him back the books. I'm still having such a hard time believing that I can trade stone for emerald. It's quite overpowered. And finally we got Bottle of Enchanting, which is a great thing to bring around to mend their items, just in case. And I must admit that for 1 emerald, it's definitely a great deal. Alright. Practically every villager on this side is a master, except the Fletchers and the farmers, because as you can see their trades are still quite high, and I like to try to get them a little lower before trading with them. But I'm so happy that we finally got this trading hall working, and looking as awesome as it does on the outside, on the inside. Now I would just like to level up these armorers to their master level, just to see what they offer. And apparently not really that much, but it's nice to have full diamond armor. Well, at least I can buy some bells, some shields, and even trade coal for emerald once we have a working wither skeleton farm. And finally I can grab a ton of name tags without having to run out of emeralds every single time. And I'm also gonna grab a ton of lanterns, because hey, why not? Well my friends, I really wanna level up these farmers and these Fletchers, so I'm gonna wait for them to be zombified so that we can lower their trades even more, and we can then get them to master level. And once I do that, we'll begin the next project of this episode, which is of course to continue the village. Alright my friends, see you soon! Welcome back. It's the next day for me, and after a lot of work, I was finally able to convert all of the villagers, get their trades down quite enough, and of course convert all of them to masters. Even this little flash just right here. Except one, unfortunately, just because I didn't like him. But don't tell him that. Alright, my friends, with this villager trading hall done, and looking quite cool if you ask me, it's time to make our way to the Italian village and work on some little projects here and there. But first, a good night's sleep. Beautiful. Last week we brought up a lot of the houses in the village, and I was actually really curious to know how the village would look once we had a little bit of water. As you can see, we have 3 fountains to add. One here, one there, which kind of looks like it's screaming right now, and the last one right here. So let's go get a bunch of materials and start building these things up. I'm gonna need a bunch of stone, with cobblestone, stone bricks, and of course andesite, which I don't have any. So let's see if we have some inside of our mine, in the storage, and yes, right here. Now back to the village. I also wanna grab 2 buckets for the water and some foliage, and because I'm definitely gonna need it, let's make a stone cutter. Now I don't really know what to do with this fountain, so what do you say we plan something together and see what we can come up with, starting by replacing all of this cobblestone with polished andesite to give this fountain a very nice foundation. And I also wonder if I have some sea lantern. Well, not a lot unfortunately, so instead I'm gonna use some regular lanterns, and we can try adding some smooth sandstone to cover the bottom of this fountain to hopefully add some interesting variation. And now starting from the center, let's go ahead and build this fountain up with the stone cutter right here to make all of the stone variants that we need. Alright, I think this can work for the middle. So now for the sides I wanna add some walls, replace some of these blocks with stairs to give it a little more depth, and add some slabs on the corners. Maybe no slabs. Instead, let's try adding some height using some walls. Alright, yeah, much better like this I think. And now of course, with some water, we can waterlog these stairs to allow the water to come floating down. And I think Fish Villager looks kind of happy. Hopefully it doesn't float out. Alright, I changed my mind a little bit because I really thought that the water was taking up too much space. So instead I decided to add a little bit of slabs just to contain the water a little more. And also I had to grab our friend Fish Villager because he was trying to escape. Stay there, my friend. I really hope to see him when I come back. Well, one fountain is done, so let's grab the stone cutter, make our way towards the top, and work on this little fountain right here with whatever these 2 things are supposed to be. I figured some little decorations, maybe some pillars or some statues. Let's of course start by removing the floor, replacing it with smooth sandstone, and this time I'm gonna leave it 1 block deep. Gonna temporarily put the stone cutter right here so that I can make a little bit of stairs and some walls that I can then use to decorate this little fountain a little bit. There we go. And on top here, I would love to have a little bit of an archway that leads to a nice little roof where the water can then be contained, and we can also add some lanterns right here. And with this, another cute little fountain is done. Now for these pillars, let's just make them purely decorative. Well, my friends, I really like the way that this little plaza is turning out, and before working on the 3rd one, I wanna try a little something. Because all of this village path is gonna be mainly out of stone bricks, cobblestone, andesite and regular stone, and because that's the exact same blocks that I use in the fountains, what are you doing up there, my friend? I thought that the floors around these fountains could actually be a combination of coarse dirt, gravel, some path blocks of course, and a little bit of cobblestone to tie everything together, just to make them stand out. Well, let's try to do this all around and see how it looks on the first fountain, and hey, if it looks good, might as well do it on the other 2. Well, here's the hole dug. Now we can add some gravel with some cobblestone, some grass that we will then convert to path blocks, and I'm gonna fill the rest with coarse dirt to make this the dominating block inside this little texture. Beautiful, there we go. And I think I really like the way that it's looking. Let's add some bushes here and there, and I really think it's starting to look like a nice little rural piazza. Alright, because I think that this is the way to go, let's make our way to the fountain we just built, dig a hole, add some cobblestone with some gravel, some path blocks, and finally some coarse dirt. And taking a look at it from above, I really love the way that these little 2 fountains are looking. And before I completely forget, I should also add some greenery all around. Much better. Well, my friends, only 1 little fountain remaining, so let's see what design we can come up with this time. Starting by replacing the floor with sandstone, I'm gonna go ahead and add the water right away. Perfect, there we go. Now let's replace some of this cobblestone with polished andesite, grab the stone cutter, find a new temporary place for it, make some more chiseled stone bricks that we're gonna use all around with some walls on top, leading up to some nice arches on all sides with some more blocks in the middle. And although I didn't use it for the other designs, I think I'm gonna make some planks to make some trapdoors that I can then put on each side of the stairs so that when I waterlog them, the water will not flow outwards. And in my opinion, it's gonna look much cleaner. And to quickly do something about this top, let's add a little spike. And just like that, my friends, this fountain is also nice and done. And now what's missing is this floor. So let's start by digging a hole wool. Then we can add some cobblestone, gravel, path blocks, and finally, coarse dirt, and some leaves as well. Oh yes, my friends. And between the third one, and the second one, and the first one, which one is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. Well, with the fountains done, my friends, and looking quite jazzy if I do say so myself, it's time to move on to the next part of this video, which is the weekly challenge. Every week I ask you for a Minecraft build challenge, and many of you posted incredible submissions on last week's challenge. For the ones who do not know, all you have to do to post a submission is join the Lonely Discord, the link is in the video description, and just send me a little screenshot of the build. You can be 100% sure that I'm going to add it to next week's episode, starting with my friend Doug, who made 7 beautiful little houses by a river. I really love their design, and I truly cannot wait to see what you build next. So my friend, thank you very much for this beautiful submission. Next up, my friend Great Doggo submitted a beautiful Italian mall full of tiny little Easter eggs and many awesome points of interest, including some beautiful wall art, an Italian flag, a nice river, and some Italian houses in the background. Great work, my friend. Thank you for your submission, and I can't wait to see what you build next. Next up, my friend Mario made a beautiful animal pen and really took advantage of these wooden stairs to make an awesome dome-shaped roof. So my friend, great work. Of course, I can't wait to see what you build next, and thank you as well for this wonderful submission. And meanwhile, Fish Villager is just there. And my friend Selkie also submitted an incredible Italian build with an awesome sandstone path going all the way from the water to the house. I also love the arches that you added on the house and the beautiful faded colors. And the more I look at it, the more beautiful details I see, like those tall Italian trees and all the lush moss decorating the little hill. Great work, my friend. Thank you very much as well for the submission. And of course, I cannot wait to see what you build next. My friend Sharks made an awesome underground field with a beautiful lush landscape, some candles, water, and even axolotl, which is a great addition to any build. I can't wait to see what you build next, my friend. And thank you for this amazing submission. And last but definitely not least, my friend Toba submitted some beautiful custom trees, one made mostly out of sculk blocks, which I think is such a creative idea, another one made with a combination of androids and amethyst, which is a beautiful combination of colors, and another one with beautiful flowering azalea leaves. So my friend Toba, congratulations on your beautiful creativity for this one, and I really can't wait to see what you build next. Thank you very much for this submission. Alright my friend, that was everything for last week's challenge, and a huge thanks to everyone who participated. Now for this week's challenge, seeing that we spent most of the episode working on the trading hall and dealing quite a lot with villagers, I would love what's going on here. I really have to understand how they keep escaping. Anyways, for this week's challenge, I would love to see any build that you make, but it must contain at least one villager. And of course, it's gonna be much more of a challenge if you actually make the build functional. So to recap, I challenge you to make a little build for villagers, and in the screenshot that you send me, I have to see at least one villager. And if you'd like to participate, all you have to do is join the little Lonely Discord, build a little something, take a screenshot of it, and then just share the screenshot on our Lonely Discord. I'm gonna post every single submission in my next video, and I would love to have yours there. Alright my friends, I cannot wait to see what you build next, but now as night is upon us, let's sleep through it, and now we can move on to the naming, starting with my friend Echo, who had an amazing idea of making a multicolor sheep the manager of a beautiful wool factory. And although this does not really look like a factory, this is actually my wool farm. So let's go ahead and grab some leads, now find a sheep, there it is, and bring it all the way towards the farm. Alright, here we are. Now we can tie it right here, name it Jeb, and now Jeb will be the new manager of this beautiful wool farm. Welcome my friend, and thanks Echo for this amazing suggestion. Next up, my friend Rubeded asked me to name a cat Shiro, so because here we have some cats between Eric, Lego, and Gav, but one without a name. And although it's not a black cat, my friend, I think he's gonna be very happy to be named. So let's go ahead and name him Shiro, and give him a warm welcome inside the hardcore world. There you go my friend. And next up, my friend Tyler would like me to name one of these villagers Get Lonely to 10k, so there you go my friend. I thought the name was pretty funny, and also my friends, you're so close to 10k, and it's truly unbelievable, but I'll save the speech for if we get there. So thank you very much my friend for this wonderful name, and welcome to our hardcore world. And last but definitely not least, my friend Yeet Gamers asked me to name a zombie inside of a cage Gavin. So let me just grab a couple blocks, including cobblestone and mossy cobblestone, with some chisel stone bricks and some iron to make iron bars. And right next to our little friend, let's go ahead and build yet another cage. There we go, with a small temporary mechanism to get the zombie to fall inside. So now we just have to wait for nighttime. Perfect. Now all we have to do is wait for some zombies to spawn. There we go. Now we can get rid of these creepers, lure the zombie slowly but surely inside of the cage. Perfect, just like that. Now I can break the trapdoor, block the top, sleep the night, and now in the morning, get rid of all of these temporary blocks, break one of the iron bars, and name him Gavin. There you go my friend. Now our friend Samuel has a nice little friend. Well, with this done, my friends, a huge thanks to everyone who submitted beautiful names in the comments. If you'd like me to name anything, leave a little comment down in this video, and I'll be sure to add it in next week's episode. And with this done, let's make our way back to the Italian village, where I can thank you all so very much for watching this episode, and I'm really happy with the progress that we made. The trading hall on top of the mountain now doesn't only look beautiful, but it's also completely functional, and it's taken quite a long time to make it so. And of course, the Italian village is getting prettier every single episode, and I cannot wait to see it completely done. And hey, if you like these videos and are also curious to see how the Italian village looks when it's done, why not subscribe to the channel? I post videos like these every week, and I would love to have you around. And of course, if you wanna participate in this week's challenge, join the Discord and send me a screenshot of your build. I'll be sure to add it in next week's video. Last but definitely not least, it's my YouTuber duty to let you know that if you'd like to support this channel financially, I'll have some useful links in the video's description. But with this done, my friends, it's time to call it yet another hardcore episode. I wanna wish you all a beautiful day, and you can be sure I will see you very, very soon. Bye bye. I still have to get over the fact that I can trade stone for emeralds. It seems a little broken, but very useful.